All right, take two. I swear to Christ, if this doesn't work, I'm gonna lose my shit. Anyways, DDFL fellas, welcome aboard. I know we got a good crew of guys here. Should be fun. Just want to do a quick 15-minute video or so. Fuck, took 20 minutes last time. Doesn't matter, it was muted. But anyways, I'll get my screen shared here. We'll just go over the league settings. We'll make the divisions because I couldn't tell you what they were. But I do know the draft order. Um, Owen will be selecting. We'll have the ninth choice. It will be myself at 10. It will be Dawson at 11. And it actually is, we're trying to fill the last spot. So whoever that is will have the 12th pick in that order. And then I have the team generator. We'll do that after. So back from the top again, after the fucking league settings. For the second time, here's our logo. Someone can make a different logo. I don't care. Fired that up in 5 minutes. Looks pretty sexy though. I'm not going to lie to you. A little blurry, but it's not in a small space. It's pretty hot. Anyways, waiver. First thing we're going to start with. We can do the old settings, the reverse standings. Last place can get the top choice of the waiver for the week. But I wanted to do something different. So we're going to do the free agent bidding system. We'll do a vote on it. But essentially, everyone receives $100 at the start of the season to allocate towards waiver players. And everyone has a chance to bid on any player. This way, if the top team in the league has Patrick Mahomes and he gets hurt, and the Chiefs wheel out some fucking random backup instead, he is still going to be valuable because we're doing two quarterbacks. So you will want to have, we're not two QBs, we're doing super flex. So you will want to have backups. And that way the last place guy can't just fucking swoop in and grab him for nothing. So essentially it's a silent auction every week for the waiver wire. You don't have to put money down. You can put zero down for a player, and if nobody wants them, you get them on your team. Um, but let's say if I put in $50 for Josh Allen's backup and someone else puts in $49, I would get the player, but the person who put in 49 gets their money back. So it doesn't count for your budget unless you actually buy the player. So that is the first thing I went over. Trade deadline. Usually it's set to week 11, but I actually kind of wanted to push it back to week 13. It's kind of tough to know exactly the direction of if you want to just like rebuild for the deadline by week 11. So I did want to kick it down the road 2 weeks. That way, teams competing can make deals a little later on, but not right on the playoffs. So it gives you a 2 week buffer to have your lineup set. Playoffs week 15, I think that's pretty standard for most. Didn't really want to change that. Playoff teams, we have six. The format, top two in each division. We'll have two divisions with 6 teams. Top two get a bye. And then the other two teams that make it in that division will play each other, and then 3v or 3v6, 4v5 play each other, and then you go on to play the 1 and 2 seeds. Playoff seeding defaults. Consolation bracket. Actually, we will do higher seed, always put the lower seed in every round. Consolation bracket. This is kind of just for the teams who don't make the playoffs. They can battle out against each other. Typically, that's when people stop caring. So I don't really give a shit. One thing I can do to maybe make it a little more interesting for the teams that maybe just missed out or are dead last looking to rebuild, the winner of the consolation bracket maybe gets an added second round pick at the very end of the round. So like the 213. That way, I don't know, maybe we can keep it competitive, but I don't really give a shit. If you guys don't want to do that, you don't have to. Just a suggestion. IR slots 4. No, you can't put fucking suspended players on the IR. If they get a sussy, they stay on your roster. If they're out for the week, they stay on your roster. You can't put them on the IR. Only guys who are actually missing time, like significant time, go on the IR. Dynasty League, draft pick trading, absolutely. This is one I want to highlight, the league median games. Essentially what this is if I score 190 points, but lose to the best team that scored 200, but everyone else was dog shit that week, and like the average score was like 120, because I scored 190, I would get a win against the average of the league, so the league median. So 190, I beat the league median of 120, but I lost to the guy who scored 200. So for that week, I'd actually be 1-1, not 0-1. It kind of helps to like get an exact seeding for the playoffs. I kind of like having no league median to talk a little shit if you beat the brakes off of the fucking, if you score 200 and you beat the second best team with 190, talk a little shit about it. But I can add that if you want. That's up to you guys. It gets an exact feel for who are the best teams, not just based on random weeks. So we can do that in a vote later. So the supplemental draft, that is the rookie draft. So every single offseason after the NFL draft, we'll do a draft for the new rookie players that come in. We're gonna make it 4 rounds, just so we don't have the Wild West fly into the waiver wire, just picking up all the rookies that don't get drafted. After 4 rounds, I think it's pretty slim for picking. So um, 4 rounds, we'll do that. Taxi squad slots. So essentially, the taxi squad is if you draft rookies and you don't feel they'll be ready right away, you can put them on your taxi squad. That does not count towards a roster spot. So you can add players to the taxi squad and then add players to your roster. So I believe our rosters are set right now for, I'll go over it in a second, but I believe it's 25. You can have up to 29 players on your team, 4 of them allocated to the taxi squad. Taxi squad, rookies or 1-year players, anything more than that, or just, you've graduated a bit, you can fucking cut them or play them. The rookies and 1-years will keep. And you have to lock it in by the start of the regular season. And you can remove players from the taxi squad past this point. Like, trying to think, an example could be Michael Penix. If you drafted Michael Penix and said, I'll throw him on the taxi squad because Kirk Cousins is going to play the first couple of years, but then Kirko fucking tears both ACLs, rips his Achilles in half. I don't know. He's done. So they end up starting Michael Penix. Then you'll probably want to have him on your team, like ready to play. So you can pull him off the taxi squad, but you can't replace that spot. So you just go down to 3 taxi squad spots for that year, and then it would reset into the next off season. So that's pretty much the standard general league settings. I think you guys can see all this if you just go to the settings on the top right. We'll move on to team settings. That's just your team. Don't really care. Okay, roster settings. This is another big one I wanted to go over. You'll see at the top, pretty standard stuff. 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 2 flex, wide receiver, running back, or tight end. But at the bottom here, we have 1 quarterback, wide receiver, running back, or tight end flex. So it's a super flex. So essentially, you do want to have 2 quarterbacks because they score the most every single year. This way it just values QBs as they should be valued in real life. They're always the best players, the highest picks in real life. So we're trying to do the same thing here. Get some extra value for the quarterbacks. I probably won't leave this to a vote. I'm firm on doing a super flex just to do something different. And kicker and defense, we're grown adults here. Justin Tucker kicking 60-yarders is fun, but not in this league, it's not. So you can fuck right off. All right, we will go into we'll do the scoring settings first. This I do want to do a bunch of votes on. Passing touchdowns, for example, I have set 6, just so because I want to lead with more scoring than not. If you want to bring it down to 4, I'm okay with that. But for right now, I do want to have it at 6. And with that, because we're doing 6-point passing touchdowns, it'll be -3 point for interceptions. In the other league we have, it's -2, so it feels like it's almost mistake-free football for your quarterbacks. They can just sling it around and dominate. Having that extra point intercepted, it actually fucking dings them. Pick 6 thrown, I kind of wanted to do -5. That way, if your quarterback's playing defense for the other team, just give enough 7s, you get really docked for it. But it's kind of a tough thing to predict, so I'm gonna leave it at 0 for now, but I can throw a poll up for that. And the rest of the stuff here is all standard. Every 25 yards a point, that's standard. Rushing. I think rushing, I left is pretty actually no, there's one setting I adjusted, but 6 points for the rushing touchdown. That's obviously what it's going to be. 2 points for your 2 point conversion, yada yada. Rush attempts. Now I did add a little bump, a little bonus for players who do like a Nick Chubb, for example, who might get 20 carries for 70 yards. And typically you'd say, oh, you just got me 7 points. But because every point two for rushing attempt, so for those, every 10 carries is 2 points. So if he went 20 carries for 70 yards, it's a 7 point day, but it gives him a little bit of a boop. So it actually, a bump, sorry, fuck me. So it'd be 11 points. It's not going to probably win you your week, but it's going to add a little bit of value to those pure runners who don't catch passes because like Nick Chubb's only good if he's scoring touchdowns because he literally can't catch passes. Um, so I did want to add that. That we will definitely vote on though, because it's a new setting. So receiving, I think this is all pretty standard. 1 point for the catch, 1 point for the first down, 10 yards. Receiving is 6, 2 points is 2 points for the conversion. At the bottom here, I did add 0.5 bonus for a tight end catch, just to make it tight end premium. So it'll be 1.5 per catch for the tight end. I kind of actually want to do 0.75 because I still feel like tight ends kind of suck and it's just a waste of space on your roster unless you have prime Travis Kelce. But we can vote on that. I'm kind of set. I'm kind of between 0.5 and 7.5, but for right now, I'll just do 1.5 and then kicking and defense can go fuck themselves. Okay, next big one is the draft setting. The draft time and date I'm not really set on yet, but I'm kind of in between the draft format. Snake draft, we'll obviously do snake draft. That's pretty standard. This is the big one. Time per pick. So usually every draft is like 2 minutes, and we just do all 25. See the roster settings here. 15 on the bench. You're starting 10, so it's gonna be 25 rounds. That can take a long time to do in one day. Like by the end, people are just auto picking and drafting, Henry Ruggs comeback season or Ray Rice straight off the Christ, I don't know. Like it gets ugly. So I kind of want to do a longer draft and make it 12 hours per pick. I know first it sounds like this is going to be the longest fucking thing ever, but you don't have to take 12 hours per pick. You can just keep ripping the first round. We can do the first 4 rounds together and just let it go after that. I also wanted to do this because I know we have guys on let's make this. I know we have guys on nights, we have guys on days, guys on afternoons, guys who work weekends. And we have guys all over the place. We had a couple guys in St. Catharines and down there, so it's gonna be tough to get together and just do one long draft. So I did want to split it up. To not fuck with sleep schedules, the draft clock will pause between 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. That way, if we got guys on night shift, that's right during where they work, or if you're sleeping, you don't get fucked over. But if you are on the clock per se, if your pick is up, but it is 10:05 p.m., the clock won't run, but you can still make your selection. And teams who are obviously not on the clock or on the clock when it's paused can just keep picking. And the draft resumes at 10:01 and goes to 10 o'clock. So you have 12 hours to make your pick. This also allows for trades too. So if you're at hour 6, you don't know who to pick, but you're actively talking, you want to move down a couple spots, you want to move your pick, you don't have like 2 minutes to do it. You actually have a full time to think about it. And if we do the 12-hour slow draft, I want to make the draft happen sooner than later. So maybe like the 19th or the 12th, like in a month's time. That way we're totally good to go for September 7th, whenever opening week is. But that's what I have set for now. Another big thing is I wanted to do, I'm set on this third round reversal. That way, if you get the first overall pick and you get Hurts, Allen, Mahomes, who just score more than everyone else pretty much every single season, you don't it's already having a massive advantage with those guys, but now you're going to get dinged for not having that 2, 3 back-to-back picks. You pick your first overall pick, then you pick at the very end of the second, and then you don't pick again to the very end of the third. It's kind of a huge advantage having the best QBs, so I do want to offset it by giving them a lower pick in the middle of the draft or the third, fourth round. So division settings, I think, is the next one I wanted to go over. 2 divisions, 6 teams, because we have 12 guys. One will be, we'll go fucking, give me the AFC, give me the NFC. Honestly, I already did this, but what is going on here? Fuck off. I already did this, but I guess I'll have to redo it because I was muted, so Mitch, Johnny, Mitch, Dawson, Frank. Big nudes in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who am I missing? We have last player. Still trying to fill that spot. So you got a guy that's good vibes for the group. Feel free to fucking get him in here. Who am I missing? Fucking. Anyways, Christ, who the hell am I missing from the group here? Let me see. Oh, B. Breck, B. Ethan. I think that's 12. Yeah. All right, so we'll get this to 2 groups. This will be the divisions. Top will be let's make sure we're good here. 6, 12, yep. All right, so the top division, Meech, Johnny, Owen, Ethan, Frank, Mitch. Group 2, the bottom, Breck, me, the last player we get in, Bence, Dawson, and Nudes. I will put that in after, but as of now, that is the divisions we'll be running. I think that is pretty much it. Once again, I did the wheel spin already. In the last video, if you want, I can do it again, but it was Owen with a 9, me with a 10, Dawson with the 11, and whoever the hell we get after the last, we'll have the last pick. Once again, Frank, you don't have to choose the first overall pick if you don't want to. Obviously, you can if you want, but you have the pick from the whole board, and then obviously we'll just go down the list from there. So I think that is about it. One more thing I wanted to go over. I think it's called Trophy Smack. This is what we are going to be purchasing. What the fuck is it on Bing? Doesn't matter. This monster here is what we're going to buy for the league. It's pretty fucking sick. I'm not going to lie to you. But the buy-in, I should have mentioned earlier, the buy-in's $100 per team. So we'll have a $1,200 pot every year. The first year, we're going to allocate $250. I think this probably will cost, or maybe $300. We're going to allocate that to a trophy because, I mean, that is fucking unreal. The winners will have their name engraved on that trophy every single season with the year, your team name. We'll have the league name here, DDFL, with we'll do a logo here. I mean, something to play for every season. Whoever wins the year gets to keep the trophy for the full calendar year until the week 1 of the next season too. So I don't know, looks pretty fucking sweet. You get your name engraved and also a bunch of cash. So we'll do we'll leave that up to you guys for how we move the money around. I'm thinking maybe the first year we just do first place gets the trophy plus like a couple $100, second place, a couple $100, third place money back, or they make a little bit of money still. Then maybe the next year we start moving like division winners get $100. If you have the MVP of the league, you get your $50, or I don't know. Something to think about, but I'm pretty locked in doing a trophy because that thing looks unreal. It makes it fun too, a little bragging rights for the winner. So I think that is going to be it, fellas. Yeah, I think we have everyone joined pretty much too. I think we're just waiting on Brecken, Dawson, and then the last guy we're trying to get in. But yeah, we'll do the once we get the vote in on if we want to do slow draft, which I think I'm more in favor of the slow draft, but I'm okay with doing a sit down draft. Just do it in a day. But yeah, we'll get all that stuff set later. So, all right, boys, appreciate it. DDFL suit and tie will come on next time. Uh, no camera. We're absolutely battling today. But anyways, catch you guys later.